needs, so I suggest we move a little further down in the agenda and address the bills that we have.
We can do gracias.
We can do gracias.
We do that right.
We can do. All right. Okay, then I recognize Senator Wicker for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move that we do 13-8, nomination of Michael Grazios to be Director of the Office of Science and Technology Policy favorably reported.
Is there a second?
Mr. West.
I don't need no money. I got more money than I know what to do.
Let's have a
What's his name?
The clerk
He
will call
too
for
good
roll.
with names. Steve.
Why, hello.
I'm at proxy.
Mr. Wicker, Mrs. Fisher, Mr. Marino, Mr. Sullivan,
I'm at proxy.
Mrs. Blackburn, Mr. Young,
I'm at proxy.
Mr. Budd, Mr. Schmidt, Mr. Curtis, Mr. Marino, Mr. Sheehy,
I'm at proxy.
Mrs. Capito, Ms. Lewis, Ms. Campbell,
Aye.
Ms. Klobuchar,
I by proxy.
Mr. Schatz, Mr. Markey,
No by proxy.
Mr. Peters, Ms. Baldwin, Ms. Duckworth,
I by proxy.
Ms. Rogan,
I by proxy.
Mr. Rubin, Mr. Hickenlooper,
I by proxy.
Mr. Fetterman,
I by proxy.
Mr. Kim, Ms. Bone Rochester, Mr. Cruz.
Aye.
5 of 24, the members of 4.
Motion is agreed to, the nomination is ordered to be reported favorably. All right, move to the pending legislation. And I recognize Ranking Member Cantwell for a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move that S 28, Informing Consumers About Smart Devices Act, S 97, Securing Semiconductor Supply Chain Act, S 244, Routers Act, amended by Bill 11, S 289, Youth Voice Name Prevention Act, S 323, and the Broadband Act, amended by Campbell Glenn as modified by Whipper 1, S 389, setting consumer standards for lithium-ion batteries act, S 414, adds Provincial Service Act as amended by Sullivan substitute as modified, S 428, the Safe Orbit Act was amended by Campbell 1 as modified, S 433, the National Manufacturing Device Campus Act, S 582, the Astronaut Ground Travel Support, S 613, approving flood and forest agriculture forecast act of 2025, S 5759, modernizing access to our Ocean Act as amended by the food substitute, S 841, Homeland Stand Prevention Act as amended by the Blackburn substitute as modified, and S 843, the Sea Turtle Rescue Assistance Act as and Rehabilitation Act of 2025, all being favorably applicable.
Is there a second? All those in favor?
I'd like to take that and have the permission.
Start with these and get well clean out. You're thinking,
I go to the S97. And I'm just trying. So that's the S97. Yes. That's modified by the.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, thank you. That's very fine. Sure.
I guess there was a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion is agreed to. It's still ordered in favor. Now, I think we're still short of a quorum. So, other members wishing to speak, I have Senator Blackburn, that want to talk about our legislation.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I am just so pleased that today we passed out the Romance Scam Prevention Act, which will require these online dating services to notify users who have interacted with scammers that are banned from their platform. Americans, especially senior citizens, are losing close to $1.3 billion a year from these romance scams. Some lose their entire life savings. For some, the emotional toll has caused anxiety, depression, and has even led some to take their own lives. The scam artists are not amateurs. In fact, they are often part of sophisticated transnational criminal organization networks that traffic individuals in developing countries with promise of high-paying jobs. The victims of human trafficking are transported to what is called dens. Their passports are taken. They are forced to pay back their debt by working overtime to defraud our seniors that are here in the U.S. These scams are well financed. They're sophisticated. They use AI and other technology to manipulate American consumers. These sophisticated platforms have the ability and the responsibility to notify their users when they're interacting with a bad actor. By taking this simple step, this legislation would protect our seniors from fraud and strike one of the most lucrative financial streams for some of the most famous criminal networks on the face of the earth. I do want to recognize Beth Hyland. She is a survivor of this heinous crime. She drove 9 hours to be here in the audience with us today. And her advocacy has made a difference in the lives of others. The legislation was a result of bipartisan, bicameral, good faith negotiations. I want to thank Senator Hickenlooper, Congressman Valadao, along with Senator Cruz and Senator Cantwell for their partnership on the legislation. I look forward to getting this to the President's desk. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator Blackburn. We now have the votes to proceed. So back to vote. I recognize Senator Wicker for a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we give the appointment the Federal Trade Commission be favorably reported.
Is there a second? Clerk, to call the roll.
Mr. Quinn,
I have a proxy.
Mr. Wicker, Mrs. Fisher, Mr. Moran, Mr. Sullivan,
I have a proxy.
Mrs. Blackburn, Mr. Young, Mr. Bud, Mr. Schmidt, Mr. Curtis, Mr. Moreno, Mr. Sheen, Mrs. Capita, Ms. Lewis, Ms. Campbell, Ms. Klobuchar,
Aye by proxy.
Mr. Schatz,
This is on a vote.
Mr. Markey,
No by proxy.
Mr. Peters, Ms. Baldwin, Ms. Duckworth,
No by proxy.
Ms. Rosen,
Aye by proxy.
Mr. Lindholm, Mr. Hickenlooper,
Aye by proxy.
Mr. Featherman,
No by Roxy.
Mr. Kenny, Ms. Rochester,
No by Roxy.
Mr. Cruz.
Aye.
The ayes are 20, the ayes are 8.
Motion is agreed to. The nomination is ordered reported favorably. Are there any other senators seeking recognition to speak?
Mr. Chairman.
Senator Fisher.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for holding today's markup. I did not call up my amendment on S28, but I would like to speak on the Fisher-Rosen one to that bill. This amendment is the text of my bill, the Foreign Adversary Communications Transparency Act, S259. The FACT Act will provide much-needed transparency for companies that hold FCC authorizations and licenses with ownership ties to foreign adversarial governments. The first step in defending our security is understanding that threat. My bill does this by requiring the FCC to publicly disclose a full accounting of these details. Under the FACT Act, companies with foreign ties will no longer be able to cooperate or be able to operate in secrecy. They will no longer be able to conceal their financial backers or their true loyalties. This threat is urgent. Allowing regimes like China to secure a silent foothold in our communications networks puts our country at risk. This legislation has bicameral and bipartisan leadership. In the Senate, I'm very glad to have Senators Rose, Cornyn, and Lujan on board. I appreciate that you, Mr. Chairman, and Ranking Member Cantwell signed off on this exact language in the end-of-year CR negotiations, just like the Routers Act, also on today's market. The FACT Act received robust technical assistance from the FCC as well, included in the amendment you see filed. Mr. Chairman, I hope you will commit to working with me to get this on the next committee market. Thank you. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator Fisher. I'm happy to work with you on the bill. Senator Black.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I am so pleased that we have approved the Routers Act. It directs the Department of Commerce to assess the national security risk posed by consumer routers and modems that are developed or manufactured in adversarial nations like China, Iran, North Korea, Russia. This legislation will provide much needed clarity on the vulnerabilities these devices may introduce, empowering us to take more decisive action to protect our networks from cyber threats and espionage. By strengthening our defenses and addressing potential weak points in our communications system, including modems and routers, we can prevent future cyber attacks and better safeguard our small businesses, our households, and our critical infrastructure. I do want to thank Senator Lujan for his partnership and his commitment on the issue. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.